Hello there and welcome to My Quilt Lab. This is Cynthia and we are working on the borders of this lovely block of the month by Banyan Be Quilting. Solare. Pretty. This is going to be a quick video, y'all, because we need to put this quilt together. You'll see we're doing these outside pieces, the 3-piece, blue, cream, and the floral. And let's just dig in because there are things to talk about. You will see in your instructions that you get templates again. Lovely templates. And one of them is a 2-part template. That's right. You're going to have to glue some pieces together because this block comes out to 11 3/8 inches long. So it's too big for just a regular sheet of paper, which is one of the interesting challenges in this block. If you want to do your templates, get your acrylics out and trace. I'm showing an alternate here. I put it on freezer paper. So I've traced it. Now, freezer paper has a papery side and a waxy side. And the waxy side, when it's face down, you can press it and it'll stick. See how it's sticking to my piece of scrap fabric here? And I can even take this off and re-iron it back on and it'll stick again. So I can use this template several times. Can I use it 32 times? I don't know. I've never done that long enough, that many times. But hopefully, if you're going to do a template, this is just another version of getting it done. Of course, if you have watched any of my previous videos, you know that I'm a big paper piecing fan. So that's the second challenge. There's the paper piecing. I've printed it out and taped it all together. However, there is one problem, and we experienced this in the last month as well. Remember, paper piecing is a mirrored version. So this is what it's supposed to look like face up, but this needs to be the bottom. So let me just bring back the picture so you can see what I'm talking about. So it's supposed to look like this. Floral, light blue, dark blue. So this template actually needs to be flip-flopped. It needs to be mirrored. So had to get creative and flip the sides. The triangle needs to go over here and that big triangle needs to be flipped this way. Now, the good news is this shape is the exact same shape as over here. It's just, I can just rotate it. I do have to switch the side A and side B, which you can see I did right here. I switched them out. But that big one, I actually had to tape together and trace so that I can make another copy of it and piece it together this way. So this is what I've done with the paper piece, and you can see I've still had to tape everything together, and I'm using my Doak foundation paper. That's that kind of newsprint stuff that's really easy to tear. And when I've taped it together, I've made sure my tape is not going on top of where I'm stitching, because that'll make it much easier for you to peel it off the paper. But I am trying to make the tape keep it all together. I even have it on the back side. Let me flip this over. Right there and right there. Couple of options. So this, when it's flipped over, ends up looking like it's supposed to. See? All right. So a couple of challenges here. You can either do your templates and you can use acrylic or my freezer paper, which I just showed, or you can make your own foundation paper. Here's the other challenge. Remember, it's 11 3/8, so you still have to piece all of those together to make each block. I did manage to get these 2 pieces. Let me show you. This piece and this piece on one sheet of paper, and this piece and this piece on another sheet of paper. Let me grab that so I can show you. There we go. So you can see that I was trying to conserve as much paper because in the booklet it shows 4 different sheets of paper and I can get it down to 2, but I still have to cut them out and I still have to piece everything together to get that final sheet to go and start doing my paper piecing. So, couple of little challenges. If this seems like too much, maybe it's time to switch to doing a template. Whether you use an acrylic or a piece of paper, or you try my freezer paper method, whatever works for you. Either way, when you get going, please make sure that you put your little dog ears in on those corners, because those are important when you go to match up. Please make sure you have an accurate 1/4 inch all the way around. And because there's going to be a lot of bias in these pieces, lots of bias, do yourself a favor and get some starch out and spray your fabric before you cut it. Spray it just before you get to sew it, so that it reduces the amount of stretch that you get. Let's talk about cutting. This is one of the few times where the authors are giving us very specific instructions about how to place your templates or your pieces of fabric when you go to cut it, because you'll have various lengths and widths for each piece of paper, or excuse me, each piece of fabric. And you'll notice that she's trying her best to put some of those longer sides along with the grain of fabric, so it's going either horizontal or vertical along those long sides. So please take a look at those pictures so that you understand how to cut everything, and that way you'll have fewer problems when you go to piece it. So I'm not going to talk a whole lot about piecing this time around, because you've seen me do paper piecing before. You've seen me, I did these 2 pieces first, and then I attached that to the other side. Here's the back side of that one. You know that I shorten my stitch length when I go to do paper piecing, and you've seen me cut everything up. I want you to get in on this because you're making 32 blocks, so get sewing. For the template version, let's just go back to that, since I usually don't do a template version. Be very careful when you're cutting these out, whether you're using acrylic or paper, because you're going to be using this template over and over again. So make sure you're really placing your ruler down accurately before you go in to swipe away. Good time to put in a new fresh blade too. See, I could feel that when because you're going to be taking this template and using it again on another piece of fabric. Okay? Make sure that you've aligned everything up with the letters so that you go and put everything together correctly. So side A, those 2 get done first, and then you'll have all side B to go along the other side. All right, I'll take a couple pictures of just a few things, and I'll do a practice block with my freezer paper to show you just what I've done. And yeah, I'll see you at the end, and we're going to have 32 of these lovely border blocks. Let's get stitching. All right, there we go. So here's my template version 1 using some scrap fabric. And here are just a couple of the foundation paper piece ones that I've been doing. We have 32 of these blocks to make. Yes, that's quite a bit. So that's why I'm ending this part of the video right here. Stay tuned for the next video, which is going to talk about the finishing, that's putting all the pieces together. And there's just a little bit of cutting fabric still to do as well. But until then, get these 32 blocks done, and I'll see you in the next video. And as always, keep quilting. Bye-bye.